But the maintenance on fiber is typically, once it gets put in, it's kind of like a 1 or a 0 with respect to maintaining it. So
yeah, and that's a lot of what I'm learning now with us going fiber to the home. There's no power supplies every mile down the road. There's no active equipment that can fry for any reason.
right.
So like I get the whole fiber thing. I guess you could say it's more reliable. It probably is a little more reliable because there's less things that can go wrong.
Yep.
And then from a company standpoint, once it's in, it's less expensive to operate. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, the operational expense to maintain it is less. And I think the killer of fiber systems is going to be them dirty connectors or somebody with a backhoe going gung ho and just
Well, I live in the country, so it's shotgun shells.
That too. Put a couple holes in it.
Yeah.
You can see. That happens. We got some of that out here. Thankfully, a lot of the fiber they put in this area though has been trenched, so which is good and bad. A little bit, in my opinion, a little bit harder to get to because then you got to start digging to figure out where issues. But hey, that's what they make OTDRs and stuff for, right? So that's always a good piece. Just another piece of technology to put in the book. And I've always heard, if you know RF, if you know it well, then fiber. It's just getting used to the different terms and things. And I think there's some truth to that, but some of it to me is still kind of black magic. I'm like, yeah, does that really do that?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I tell. Like even when I was the manager and I was hiring guys, and a lot of the guys that we hired, do you want to do coax or do you want to do fiber?
Yep.
And to me, doing a fiber install is sometimes a lot more complicated because with fiber you can run a drop 7 poles.
Yeah.
With coax you can't. It's 300 foot, and that's when you at least should be done.
Yeah. Should be right.
Right, should be done. But so like I think if you understand the coax part and things like that, fiber is actually easier because, and I could be wrong again because I'm the RF guy.
Yeah.
To me, you count your loss with your fiber. If I have minus 12 at the enclosure and I have minus 20 at the side of the house, something wrong.
Yeah, something wrong. I like that. Yeah.
So
yeah, if you've got two also, if you've got the coax troubleshooting skills, then it falls into place, for fiber essentially, because you already know. I'll call, in my opinion, troubleshooting RF/coax is harder to troubleshoot than fiber. So if you have that skill set, that I think, I'm not saying one's better or worse by any means, but if you already have that troubleshooting mind from RF, then when you go over there, that troubleshooting mind is going to take you down, the same path, but probably a little bit easier because not as much can go wrong per se as when coax. You got corroded connectors, chewed up cables, maybe frequency issues or leakage. I mean, there's just so many different things, right?
Right. And like with coax, I mean, you can have, your loss can be perfect. So you're losing 6 dB at 1,000 megahertz through 100 feet. Great. But at this end, your MER is 38 and at this end it's 28. Yeah. So if you're just checking signal, and that, I think that's the part I love and hate about coax is it's like you can think everything's right, but if in your troubleshooting you learn how to read your tools and things like that, and it becomes a little bit of a challenge. Whereas with fiber, at least in my opinion, you have a certain loss, and if you have too much loss, you have a problem. But other than that, that's all you look at.